So, in the beginning was the Word. That's a great reading for Christmas night, isn't it? It's evocative, it's atmospheric, perhaps uplifting for the soul, reassuringly familiar and comforting at least, hurtful amid the darkness. And let's also be honest about it. Let's be honest, that reading is also pretty incomprehensible, isn't it? I mean, which of you really understood, which of us really understood it? I certainly hardly did. All this business about the Word, that kind of must refer to Jesus somehow, and somehow about his being born, but what that is, and well, that's not exactly clear. The word incarnation might come to mind, or it might not. Either way, if you're anything like me, you're wondering why John couldn't it be just a little more clear when he wrote the opening to his Gospel. Now, of course, there is a hidden meaning inside this passage, and I could spend quite a while this evening talking about it. I mean, I could give a 30-minute, 45-minute lecture about how the Word is a translation of the Greek word logos. I could spend some time talking about how it was the buzzword of the philosophical world of John's day. I could go on for some time about how John's trying to speak of the reason, the rationale, the thing that makes the universe tick. That's what he's kind of trying to refer to. The thing that keeps it all going. And I could prattle on for quite a while about how Jewish thinkers of the day used the idea of wisdom, that part of God which showed the world how to live and drew creation to himself. They called out from the beginning of time itself. I could say how they applied that to the same thing as the word, the logos, from Greek thought. And I could talk at quite some length about the genius of John, who puts this incredible spin on it by saying this all points to Jesus, as if Jesus is the reason for the universe itself, as if he is the one who makes the cosmos tick, as if he is the one who calls us to God and shows us the right way to live. And I could do that. And I could go on for quite a while if you want. But it is Christmas night, isn't it? And I'm tired, and I suspect you're tired as well. And if you're anything like me, there's a big Lego set waiting at home for you to go and make in the morning. No, that's just me then. Well, you just want to get home to do something, at least. It's been quite a year, hasn't it? And it doesn't seem to be getting any better fast. So I'll skip the 30-minute lecture tonight for once. And instead, I want to talk about something completely different. I'm going to talk to you about Pokemon. That's right. You heard Pokemon. Now, I know to you, some of you, that means absolutely nothing. And I was going to show you some images on the screen which would refresh your mind for those of you who might be versed in Japanese media. But I forgot my memory stick, so we can't see the images. But let me explain what Pokemon are to those of you who have not an idea. So it started off as a Japanese video game about lots of these little characters, and they were all called Pokemon. And it spawned videos and films and trading cards and books, and you name it, there was a Pokemon version of it. It was incredibly successful. It became a whole media industry, and people were really into it. I wasn't. When I was about a teenager, some of my friends were really into it. I have no idea about it really. I know there's one called Pikachu, but that's literally as far as my Pokemon knowledge goes, except for one other thing, which I'll get to in a minute. But skip forward 15 years, and Pokemon were back. About 4 or 5 years ago, people started playing it on their phone, which was something called augmented reality. So you'd walk around with your phone, and it would show you the world around you, but suddenly there were Pokemon filling it, and use your job to try and catch them. It was a phenomenon. Loads of people played it. Everyone played it for like about a month or two, and then everyone stopped playing it, except a few people. I've got a friend who continues to play it to this day. He's dedicated to playing Pokemon. Now, the thing is, that whatever Pokemon you're thinking of, the idea is you've got to catch them. The idea is you've got to catch these Pokemon. However you do it, whether it's like trading cards, or you're playing a game, or you're on your phone, going around the world trying to catch these Pokemon. I don't know how they do it. They fire something at them, but you try and catch them or something. Because the tagline of Pokemon is, got to catch them all. And I had this video, this screen, I'll show you. It says, Pokemon, got to catch them all. The idea is you've got to collect all these different small creatures. I don't know what you do with them when you collect them. It seems like you put them in some sort of like online zoo or something, but I have no idea. It's like a mission. It's like a task that you're given. It's like the 21st century equivalent of stamp collecting, where you go out to try and complete your collection. Instead of using an album, you're using your phone instead. But the promise is the same. If you complete your collection, then you have achieved. I don't know what you've achieved, but you've got a sense of achievement at least. And the promise is that one day you will have this completed collection, this perfect collection of all the best Pokemon or all the best stamps or whatever you want to collect. Of course, the problem is they keep making more stamps and they also keep making more Pokemon, so you keep playing the game, but that's another matter. But the point is that you've got to keep trying harder. You've got to keep going. And that's not limited to just hobbies, is it? It's not limited to just playing Pokemon or collecting stamps or collecting whatever. It's how many of us approach our lives. We have goals. We see life as a series of achievements that we need to meet. It's like we're on a mission, like we're on a quest, and we have this task to complete. And one day, we will have reached the summit of the mountain, however we want to go. It might be the way you view your work, your family life, the work you do in the community, all sorts of things. And for us, and for many people, it might be also the pattern of our spiritual life as well. God or wisdom or enlightenment or nirvana or tranquility or whatever it is that we're trying to seek and look for, it's kind of viewed as a quest. There are perhaps certain levels that we're supposed to get to, moments of insight and revelation. It's like the secret of life, the right way of living is revealed to us bit by bit. If we keep pushing on, if we only turn the next corner, climb the next mountain, scale the next ridge, if we only knew our Bibles better, came to church more, if we only knew the right way to pray, if we only gave a little bit more, sacrificed a little bit more, if we only were a bit less confused, if we only worked a bit harder, if we only tried a bit more earnestly, then perhaps we would know God for ourselves. And perhaps we would be able to live better. And perhaps we would be satisfied, that we will be wise and have wisdom, have that kind of thing that John was talking about, the word, the logos, the secret to the universe. If only we could catch all the Pokemon, then we could rest. But what I need to tell you tonight is you can't catch all the Pokemon. And I know that will be a disappointment to all of you who are trying to play it when you go home tonight. But we will never reach that higher plane either. We will never try enough, never try and sacrifice enough to meet God. We will never be holy enough, we will never live rightly enough. And that's okay. So although I think life is a bit like a mission or a quest, or I think maybe more like an adventure, say, it isn't one where we get to meet God at the end of it. Because it's an adventure that starts by God coming to us, not one where we have to go and find him. John tells us that the Word was made flesh and made his dwelling among us. We didn't have to go search him out or seek him out, because he came to us. Jesus came to us, the one who shows us what God is actually like, the one who is the secret behind the universe itself, the one who makes it tick, the one who makes sense of everything in our lives. He came to us. Not a treasure that we had to find or we had to search out, but a friend who rang the doorbell one day and was there. There's, of course, so much more to learn about God. So much more of life to explore and understand, so much to wrap our heads around, and there's still more after that. It is an adventure after all, but it's not one we do to find God, it's one we do with him. It's one we do with Jesus. Because at Christmas we don't celebrate that God gave us some great mystery to be solved. We celebrate that he became a person that we could know. So this Christmas, what I want to encourage you to do is this. Take it easy. Be kind to yourself. Take a break. Cut yourself some slack. You do not have to prove yourself. You do not have to succeed at this or that this Christmas. You just have to be. And take some time with God this Christmas. But do it in a way that you're actually going to enjoy. Do something that you really like and imagine that Jesus is there with you because he is. So make yourself a cup of tea and crack open those best biscuits that you were given. Sit down in a comfy armchair and just have a chat with God. Or don't. Just have a sleep if you want. Have a nap. Go on a long walk. Make up some Lego if you really liked it. Read a book, watch a film, whatever you want to do, whatever it is. Do it in the knowledge that God is there right with you. Jesus is there with you. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to those around you. Because Jesus is all the knowledge, all the wisdom, all the insight, all the understanding that we will ever need. You know, there are times for striving, and times for pushing forward, times for pushing ourselves, and times for being earnest, times when the adventure that we're on feels like we have to set our face into the wind and go forwards into it. I don't think those times are now. Because God came to us. Jesus comes to us. The Word was made flesh. A person. Not someone who had to be sought out, not a riddle to be solved, but a person we could get to know. So this Christmas, spend some time getting to know him and do something you enjoy. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, take a break, take it easy. That's what I think we're trying to be encouraged to do and called to do this Christmas. Don't feel guilty about it, because Jesus is there with you.